Yes, people, kidda. Bit of a late one today, cause the Sing's from USA. Trying to add him now. He's a gun range owner. Watches my content. Wanted to come on the show. Any of my people wanna go on to his gun range or sort it out. I'm just trying to add him. It's gonna take a few times. So we're live from USA. He's 8 hours ahead of us. That's for the late. That's why it's gonna be a bit of a late one. We're gonna talk about guns in America. Talk about he wants to ask questions to the UK Sangat here. So just trying to add him. So we're gonna be live with Hari Singh, a, a white Sikh from America. So I'm just trying to add him. Hari, I'm trying to add you, bro. Just bear with me. It takes a bit of time. If it doesn't add now, I have to restart my Insta sometimes. Are you getting the requests, brother? Bear with us, guys. Just connecting into America to USA. Should be an interesting live. Are you getting the request, bro? It should come on now, man. Oh, I'm sending the request. If not, what I'm gonna have to do is log on. Oh yes,
Hey, can
yes.
you
One
see
minute.
me? Hey, what's up, brother? Rifate.
Yeah, but wajib kasa, wajib kifate. Yeah,
Wagyu Kakota, Wagyu Fate G, how's it going?
yeah, cool. So Sangat, we're with Hari Singh. So just introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, my name's Hari Prakash Singh. I was born and raised in the United States. I think I'm, gosh, one of less than 25 Sikhs in my entire town. I also I work for the state government, and I also teach firearm classes, teach gun safety, teach concealed carry classes, advocate for self-defense, advocate for better security in our gurdwaras. Have had limited success with that, but I'm kind of fascinated by the amount of things that are in the UK, and I'm jealous that I'm not surrounded by more Sikhs. I've considered moving to Vancouver. I've considered moving even up to Beaverton. We have a very large Sangat up there. I go down to Yuba City for the Nagar Kirtan just to be around more Sikhs. But then I also see that you guys have a lot of I saw there was I think what's his name? Trigger Singh was going after Sodhi Singh. No, that was just pretty unheard of here. There's not very many Sikhs that will call out another Sikh for BB or Rehat or anything else. Like it's just every convenience store in my town is a freshly migrated Punjabi Sikh. But half of them are Mona, half of them are shaven, have like kind of look like they just have never had a haircut in their life till 2 weeks ago or something. I ran into one, and also all the convenience stores around here, they're all Punjabis, they're all Sikhs. So I can go and find a Sikh 2 blocks away at the local market, but he's not Keshdari, and they also there's a little weirdness because I don't speak Punjabi.
Oh,
I
you
organized no, I mean a little bit, I can say my fut days, and when I was a little kid I went to preschool in India, so I had a little bit of Punjabi, but I lost it all from just not using it. I recently I'm actually a leadership member of a refugee immigrant network for state of Oregon. So we help out. We put on a World Refugee Day back in June, and we were able to invite what is this? It was the oh man, Raghi Manpreet Singh. Manpreet Singh Raghi. He was the Raghi from Gurdwara Bangla Sahib in Delhi before he came here to Oregon. So I was able to book him and to his tabla player and his the instrument that Bhai Mardana plays came with him. So the threesome, they came and played at our one of our state buildings, and that was really cool. And actually, he didn't know I had been talking to him for a month, getting the Gurdwara and the committee and ready for his pay. We paid them $500 to come and perform for like 20 minutes and play some kirtan. And it was really awesome. We got that streamed to like 300 people across the state, employees that worked for the state. And but he was shocked that I didn't speak Punjabi. I think because my whole family is Southern Italian, Sicilians. And my dad has always kind of passed for Punjabi, and when he runs into Punjabis, sometimes they like come at him 100 miles an hour in Punjabi. And his Punjabi's maybe it was maybe 20 years ago or something, somewhat like he could carry on a few sentences here and there. But he's had people not believe him before because he looks very Punjabi. Like,
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. You look a bit Punjabi as well, like half Punjabi.
oh, I most of the time, most people don't even question me. Like I was just with my friends. That picture I sent you, me and Sandeep Singh, that was at the Yuba City
Yeah,
Nagar Kirtan. Everybody thought we were brothers. I mean, he's full on
yeah,
Punjabi. I'm just Southern Italian, Sicilian. So, but really, my grandparents were about as brown as most Punjabis. I'm a little lighter than my dad,
yeah.
and so
Italians look brown, innit? So is
well,
your
and
mom,
Southern Italian too. So
lovely.
Southern Italian,
So
different.
Is your mother Italian and your dad Italian, or the mix?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's more. She my father's side of the family would call her parents' side of the family white bread Italians because they're kind of northern Italians. Sicilians are a whole different type of Italian. But but yeah, both from both sides.
And you have one Godwara there, right? In your town.
You know, in my town, there's only, I don't even call it a Gurdwara, and I'm kind of estranged from the whole, not that I'm on bad terms with any of them. My parents knew all of them, but it's a 3HO run, and it's an ashram. It's not a Gurdwara because there's no
Oh,
Langar Hall.
yeah, free HO,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the closest Gurdwara, proper Punjabi Gurdwara, is about an hour north of here in a town called Salem. Big Gurdwara, Dashmesh Darbar, 300 or 400 Sikh families go to it. It's run by a really
Oh,
nice guy who owns like 300 convenience stores across the street. His name is Bahadur Singh. He's one of the kindest guys I've ever met before. He's allowed me to march in the Nagar Kirtan, given me some really great privileges as, just as part of the Sangha. I was actually on their poster for let me see if I can find I'm on the poster for the Punch PR from like 8 years ago or something. I put that poster for my house is such a mess. If I can find that, I'll show it to you. But
yeah.
yeah, they still had me. I think they kind of like that because they like showing that not all Sikhs are Punjabi. So I've been on their. I marched in their Nagar Kirtan. I rode the horses and was flag duty on the Nagar Kirtan in their parade, like 2014 or something. And they still use me for their poster, which I think is great. I think they do it because they want to inspire a lot of the non or a lot of the non Keshdaria non-Bana wearing Sikhs that here's, a Gora that's doing more to tie a turban every day than, and nobody at my work has ever seen me without a dastar on. I mean,
Mm,
I'm very strict to make sure that think I'm the only person that works for the state of Oregon that's a Sikh.
bloody yes.
So,
There's not much Sikh there. So if that you got a
no.
free HO ashram, is there a lot of free HO living in your area, or do they come when
It's funny. There's probably about 25 3HO families in this town, and I'm not really friends with any of them. My family, my father met Yogi Bhajan like in 1976 or something. Then we quickly moved to Montana, which was like a
mm,
thousand miles away from any 3HO people.
mm,
Yogi Bhajan came and stayed at our house when I was like 3 years old, and so we had minimal contact with 3HO people, but really we didn't have much. My dad discovered Sikhism through 3HO. Thank God for that. I thank God
mm,
for his life, my mother's life, and my life that we found at least the path to Sikhism because really I feel like I didn't find true like Rihad Mariata till I met up with Bahadur Singh at the Sangat in Salem at the Dasmesh Darbar. And then I literally got to meet some Damdami Singhs that came to be the Panch PR for one of our Nagar Kirtans. And I stayed in the guest house behind the Gurdwara with a guy named Lab Singh, who's like an 82-year-old Gyani. And just being able to stay overnight with him, I was able to read like Banis and Ardasans and everything, and he was helping me get my so that was really helpful. And so really, I never cut my hair. I've never eaten meat before. I was raised
mm.
vegetarian. I've never eaten meat before. I've never even eaten a bite off of a burger or anything else.
Oh,
And
never
that's not
from birth.
necessary. Never from birth, yeah. Never even an egg or fish.
Is that because of
Not
the
that I
free HO stuff, or
The
did you
originally,
sit off?
yeah, but that's not now. It's just because
You're not into
I've.
free HO. You're broken away from them, innit? You're saying.
Oh yeah,
Or,
yeah, big time. I don't really have
mm,
any. I have a couple friends. Like I have one friend, Ravi Tej Singh, who's one of my dad's friends that I still talk to, but for the most part, I was never really like I didn't go to school in India with all those kids. They always looked at me as a bit of an outsider anyway, the 3HO people.
Yeah. Yes.
Because and also I show up at their Gurdwara wearing like a Khalistan t-shirt or something, and everyone
Okay.
looks at me like, "Oh, this guy's freaking crazy" or something, you know. They
Yeah.
think I'm like a and then you know the funny thing about the ashram here, it's not a Gurdwara because it doesn't have a langar house. I even try, and it doesn't have a Nishan side. I
Or
straight
is it?
up told them, I said, yeah, I even tried to with the 3HO leadership here in this town. I said, you guys need to put up a Nishan side. Me and my friend Jagdeep Singh, we're like, we're going to do it for you. Like, we'll put it up for you. We'll promise, we'll pay for it. We'll go get the flagpole. We'll erect the Nishan side. And the 3HO people really pushed back. They're like, well, we like having a low profile Gurdwara. We don't want to have people, you know, tag it with swastikas or something. So they literally shut us down. So I don't really consider it a proper Gurdwara because there's no Langar Hall and there's no Nishan side. And those are things that every Gurdwara has to have. Like it's not a Gurdwara if there's not a Nishan side flying as high as like a McDonald's sign, at least that
Yes.
high.
It's
It
ashram.
has,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an
The,
ashram. So, but the other funny thing is that I've noticed that some of the Punjabi families from Salem come down to this ashram versus going to the one in Salem. And I've asked them, this is mostly
yeah.
Punjabis at this ashram on every single Sunday when they do kirtan service. Every single Sunday when they do Gurdwara service, it's 90% Punjabis and like maybe 10 Gora Sikhs in there, even though it's a Gora Sikh ashram.
Yeah.
And I've asked them why they don't go to the one in Salem, and they say, "Oh, we don't want to talk about Indian politics or Khalistan or anything
Oh,
else."
okay. They just want
So
the spirituality. Yeah.
they come to this Gurdwara to avoid having to get in bickering matches about whether Khalistan was a good idea or whatever else. The Gurdwara up there's got pictures of Bindranwale all over the place and all the Shahidi sings and stuff. So the Gurdwara up there, they don't blink an eyelash when I show up with my
Yeah.
Khalistan t-shirts or my Bindranwale t-shirts or any of that stuff. So the one here, they all look at me like they're kind of scared, and I think we even have a couple of Hindus that show up the Gurdwara service, or they might be like Baba Siri Chand type Sikhs or something. They're not
Yeah.
full on Sikhs, you know. So anyway, I was raised strict, wore a patka, was the only kid in my school with a patka on until I was like, I don't know, I think maybe 13 or something. My dad said, "Do you want to get a haircut?" And I remember getting a mullet. It was probably the worst mistake I ever made, but and I didn't get bullied in school either. I was a
Yeah.
big kid. I stood up to everybody, anybody that tried
Yeah.
to fight me. I was down for fight. In fact, I think I was the first fight we'd had in my fourth grade class, I think in 35 years at that school. There was some like Puerto Rican kid that just, I was also the tallest kid in my school. So it didn't hurt that I was big, but it also
Yeah.
made everyone want to step up to me. So it's like, you know, for the most part, I got away free my whole life. I think my mom is like, oh, you know, you were the only kid in your school that had a patka on and, you know,
Yeah.
in a very, very white area with no diversity. And I think we were the only Sikh family in the whole state of Montana at the time for many, many
Wow.
years.
Oh, Montana. Yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's like out in the middle of nowhere. It's like the Yukon or something compared to, you know, even here. So really about 2014, 2015, I had short hair. I started getting back into just Sikhi. I'm not even sure what inspired me. I think I was watching some of that Hari Singh Nahung video on YouTube and some of just
Yeah.
the
I've
old
seen that.
Charikala Singh videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that over
That's
and over and
inspirational.
always.
That video. I watched that a few times as well.
I've also watched the new one of them growing up together. They're still friends. He's the old one still
Oh,
alive. They have a new video out
I
of the
haven't seen that.
two.
Send me the link after.
I will. They've reunited each other, so it's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
so it is
Sikh
cool. I
Soul. Someone's called Sikh Soldier 2023 goes, Carl, you're a brother. Need to link up. Yeah, Sikh Soldier. Biceps. Brother here has got a
Yeah, and
gun.
also I'm
He's
more
got.
than happy. Anyone want to come and train on firearms here? I don't know if we can show these on the
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
or
it's
not.
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. So I build rifles. This is a 11 and a 5 inch, 11.5 inch AR-15 pistol with a EOTech on it. Shoots 5.56. Got a flashlight mounted on there. I have three of these, basically, these little guys. And
Yeah,
then,
so anyone from the UK that wants to go and link Bicep, he'll take you out shooting for free, he said. Do you get me?
yeah, I
That's the
got a
amount of love he's
range.
got.
I got four rifles. I got like eight Glock pistols. We got it. We got ammo. We
We're
got
jealous.
everything we need.
We're jealous. UK is very restricted.
I
Like,
can't. I want to move there, but that's the reason I would never, because
bro,
I
you
love
can't
my
even
right to
carry, you can't
self-defense.
carry pepper spray, let alone a gun, bro. You can't
I
carry
know I've
nothing.
been trying to offer to send it to people, and they're all like, "Oh, don't do that. I'll get busted in the mail or something." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Well,
yeah, yeah,
catapult it across the ocean." I've offered like five
yeah.
years ago. I had a friend
Nah,
that was like, "I'm,
everyone's sitting ducks here, bro. Sitting ducks. Oh, the criminals got guns,
yeah."
and
Well,
the
that's the
police have
way.
guns. And there's some law abiders that got sporting guns, like no little shotgun or little 22 rifles. If you have to have such a
Single
big
shot.
license. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to
no,
get a
single shot
license. You have
shotgun.
to keep them in lockers. The self defense laws here are shit, bro. Like
I
in
know.
Texas, you've got the concealed carry and stand your
This is a
ground.
22 right here with a 30 round magazine. This is fun as hell to shoot this thing
Yeah,
and
it's
shoot as
cheaper. It's
fast as
cheap.
you can.
The
Oh, it's
bullets are
super
cheaper.
cheap and it's about as quiet as a BB gun. This thing is just fun as hell. It is
That
fun
can
as hell.
still do the damage, and like
Oh yeah.
in
Oh
USA,
yeah.
someone comes to your house, you're allowed to shoot or whatever.
Oh
We ain't
fuck
allowed
you! You
to.
bet your ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Somebody comes in
yeah,
my house. Somebody comes in my house. I'm gonna show you a couple more of my rifles. If
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
comes in my house, literally, and even if they're a cop, but they don't have a warrant, they don't tell me who they are. Shit, man,
yeah,
it's gonna be on. We're gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
like a, I mean, that's just, and even right now, we got like ICE agents running around snatching people up without any due process in this country. Here's
Oh,
another
is
one of my
it?
11.5. Yeah, they're snatching people up that are just brown, mostly for Hispanic people, but like they're raiding like Home Depots looking for people that
Yeah,
like detail cars every day. So, it's interesting. I don't think that they're picking on Sikhs, but we had that Sikh truck driver in Florida that made a U-turn and killed two people. I don't know if you remember hearing about that.
yeah, yeah. I'll see that. Yeah, yeah,
His name
yeah,
was Harjinder Singh, and he was a freshie. He was right from India. He barely spoke any English, and a lot of those trucking companies in California, they're all owned by Punjabis. I see all these trucks that come down, Khalsa
yeah.
Trucking,
That's how
and
they're making their money.
they are. And I kind of feel bad about that guy. I mean, I think they should have gone after the company that hired him and gave him a license and everything else. I mean, I don't think I mean, he sure shouldn't have made a U-turn. I think he spoke English. I think he could read
Nah,
traffic
it's a
signs.
legal U-turn, isn't it? Yeah,
It's an
they
illegal
gotta make an
U-turn.
example of him. Yeah,
I mean, Sikh United what was it, SALDEF or United Sikhs? I can't remember. One of the Sikh organizations gave $100,000 to the family like the next day. The Sangha of Florida
like,
where it happened
to the
to
which
the
family to the
victims.
deceased. Oh, fair
To the
play, respect.
victims. Yeah, so that was
Nah,
actually pretty
respect.
cool. I think it was
Yeah.
United Sikhs came out, and there's United Sikhs as the Florida Sangha. They came out with $100,000 immediately, like the next day.
Oh yeah. What?
And a
Yeah.
lot of people were just kind of like, that's not enough money. But they didn't have to give anything. Literally, these people had nothing to do with them. They just said, we want to know that we want people to know that Sikhs aren't just bad people. We actually are here for people in need. Like when there's hurricanes and everything else, the only people that show up with food is usually Sikhs. With Langar, we show up all the time. So, really, we have a pretty good reputation in this country. But after 9/11, there were some attacks, like at the Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Um,
Yeah.
what
I'm
time do I wake
surprised.
up for
Like,
Amrit Vela? 3 a.m. usually, if I can. 4 a.m. usually at the latest. I try to
yeah,
religiously do it every day, or else I like almost a little superstitious. If I miss that, I have a bad day. Like I
yeah.
curse myself with a bad day.
A lot of people say
And
that.
even
So
some days I don't even have time to do anything but just Ardas. But at least that's like 20 minutes. I can recite that in 10
I
minutes
just
or
start there
something.
with
So
that. No. Yeah.
start the day with that if I've got up late or something. So yeah, but a lot of people still don't know what a Sikh is in this country. Like I said, after 9/11, we had a lot of things that getting attacked because Osama bin Laden and everybody sees people with
Yeah. The
turbans and beards.
Godwara
And
got shot in
Oak
it.
Creek
That
Gurdwara got
Wisconsin.
shot.
How many
Yep.
people got killed? 11.
I think over 10, yeah, and it was mainly elderly Sikhs, and then I went to the Gurdwara here, and I was like, hey, give me some Sikhs to go train up with firearms, and so literally they had a sign that says no guns, no
Yeah.
tobacco, no nasha. So I've been carrying a gun in there for years. They all know it. The Gurdwara president knows I'm armed. He's like, well, how come you can't just be here all day every day? I said, I live an hour away. I would come sit there all day every day. I just. But so I tried with some of the things from India, and a lot of them, there's issues with them not being permanent citizens and being able to buy guns. So there's that. I actually don't even really know what the legality of some of them if they're here on, visas for being kirtanis or whatever, working at the Gurdwara. The most of them are here on Gurdwara visas. Like, I also noticed that when I booked the Raghu Manpreet Singh from Bangla Sahib, the very famous kirtani, um, when the payment got sent out from the state, it got sent out from my treasury, from the state of Oregon Treasury. He got paid $500 for like 20 minutes. Well, he called me up like about 3 weeks later when the check came, and he was kind of like panicking. He's like, "Well, what does the check look like?" And I realized the Gurdwaras just pocketed that money, put it in the Golak. It didn't get to the musicians. And I'm like, I felt really bad. I should have made sure that check got to him. He probably doesn't get anything but a weekly allowance. You know what I mean? They don't really
Mm,
get allowed to. And I also had some really wonderful sings that were here. His name was Jagmeet Singh or Jagjit Singh, that were the head Gyanis at my Gurdwara. And he had his brother here, and then he had his son here, and his son was studying music production at the local university and to want to do Bhangra. And they literally fired the Gyani and his brother and put them out on the streets. And the 3HO Sikhs here were actually the ones that took them in. They found out like a week later they
fair
were
play.
living in their car and had nowhere to go. And they got taken in by the white Sikhs here. So I realized that after that, I'm not sure if some of them are like here on indentured servitudes or not. But
Mm,
I have to think that Raghu Manpreet Singh probably isn't because he was really famous in India. He's got like 600 YouTube videos. I mean, I would think he would have other options of places to go. But when I realized that that check just went straight into the Golak and didn't go into his pocket, and it really was kind of meant for him and his two other musicians,
yeah,
I felt bad, and I even called the treasurer from the Gurdwara and I said, "Could you make sure that he go and dig that check out of the Golak and give it to him? Because I know it was, seen like a donation to the whole Gurdwara, but really it was for their musical services, and that's what we
yeah,
negotiated on. So,
yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
so yeah,
Next time, just pay them cash in hand in it next time.
I will next time, guaranteed. I think we're gonna have them next year. It was a huge,
Mm,
huge. It was a huge one to have. We always have the Khalsa bikers at our Nagar Kirtan here from
yeah,
Canada that come down.
yeah,
So we also have a Gutka team from Seattle that comes down. We have a really big Nagar Kirtan here every year,
yeah.
June 21st. So at this one in Salem. So and I'm usually there every year. Like I said, I'm on their poster. So and
I love.
those people have been the best people to me ever. So back to kind of when I get back into Sikhi, that was around that time. They chartered a bus to take all of us down to Yuba City. I was on a bus. In fact, I was the only one that really spoke that good of English. So they sat me right next to the bus driver so I could kind of translate between all of the rest of the Sangat on the bus and the bus driver and tell the bus driver where we needed to go because I was the only one on the bus that could speak fluent English to the bus driver. So anyway, at that around that time is when I started really just getting involved with a lot of the Punjabi sings, and also people like what I say, the Blazing Singh, freaking Gurminder Singh. He's been one of my friends for like 10 years. So a lot of these
Oh,
UK sings have been really a big, huge. I can think of a lot of names, but I've known Sodi for like 11 years or something.
yeah,
I've known Bob Singh for like a decade.
yeah.
I've known Kamal Roop for like a decade or something through the internet. So I'm
Oh wow.
inspired by a lot of the Punjabis in the UK. I'm also jealous that I don't have as many Sikhs around me, especially
Yeah.
like, it seems like you guys are kind of the closest to being in a mini Punjab. Like even
Oh
here in
yeah.
Yuba City,
Southall.
there's,
Yeah, we've got Southall, man. That's a mini Punjab. But
yeah, I mean,
sometimes it
there's
comes
like,
with the good and the bad, innit? It comes with the good and the bad.
well, that's what
Southall.
I see. I was seeing
Yeah.
like that one, guy that was super angry about Sodi Singh. I mean, given Sodi Singh's out there with a turban, rubbing elbows with chicks, like I don't know. I mean, who am I to criticize anyone else for what they do? I'm not
It's
perfect
cause he's
myself.
married. It's cause he's married, bro. That's
Okay,
it. It's not good. Yeah. Married, you know what I
it's
mean?
not
And
that good
and
of a
the
look
thing,
anyway. It's between
nah,
him and the
yeah.
guru, so I
Yeah,
try not
and
to.
obviously, yeah, yeah. So I've had to go at Saudi Singh as well, and I've known him for time as well. But you going back to the Wisconsin Gurdwara, yeah, it should not have happened in America because the Singhs should have Maharaj is giving us a hukum to be Shastatari, yeah? Okay, UK, is 5 year sentence if you
No,
carry a
there's no
gun.
reason here
But
not to do it. There's
yeah,
no reason it could ever happen here.
yeah, it shouldn't have happened because
You know, one of the
if the
things
kids is
about
coming, yeah, he should have shot one, two guys, but the rest of the things should have been strapped. You know what I mean? And
they
they should
should
have
have
shot.
all been strapped. Every
Yeah,
church is strapped. Every church in this country's got like 5 security guards that are
yeah,
concealed carrying. So like, there's no reason why we Sikhs shouldn't be doing that. It's crazy. And
yeah,
actually,
because it's
going back
legally
to
and it's hukum from the Guru.
it
Yeah,
is a
sorry,
hookup for the Guru.
sorry,
You're
bro.
right. Char bar char. No,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. In
yeah,
fact,
yeah,
the funny thing is that back when we were part of 3HO, we used to go to the solstice thing every year, and there was a ladies'
yeah,
camp, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
Yogi Bhajan actually mandated that all the women take rifle and shooting classes, and all the men do like literally marching and pistol classes. And so that was something that kind of I think got me interested in guns when I was a little kid. So the white
wow,
Sikhs have kind of always carried guns in this country. The 3HO people have always had hardcore amounts of security. My mom was training with AR-15s when I was 5 years old, at the orders
yeah,
of Yogi Bhajan, actually. He wanted all the women trained up really well and all the men too. And he always had his own personal security. Gursant Singh, you probably know
yeah,
who he is. He was a personal
yeah,
bodyguard of good
yeah,
or
yeah,
of our
yeah,
Bhajan Yogi. So I
yeah. I
mean,
watched his stuff.
so really, a lot of the Gora Sikhs have always been armed, really, for the most part. The Punjabis
It's the
tend to,
Punjabi.
I think what it is they move here from dealing with the Punjab police. Then they me dealing with the American police. They're like, oh my God, these people are so less corrupt. So they kind of
Yeah,
think that there's a false sense of safety because they know they're not going to get
basically.
squeezed or try to like disappeared by like a Punjabi cop would. Like they get treated pretty well
Yeah,
here. But the truth
yeah.
of the matter is, a cop's never going to show up in time to stop an active shooter. They're just not going to show up. They're going to show up in time to
Nah.
photograph all the bodies on the floor. So
Yeah.
it's just never okay. Like it's never okay to wait thinking it's false sense of security that the police are going to somehow save anyone. They
How
never do.
about England? England, so many women get raped, so many people get killed, and they go out without a fight.
See,
It's hard.
I almost feel like here the fact that everyone's armed keeps people more polite because they know
100%.
that yeah, an armed
Yeah,
society is a polite society because like I said,
yeah,
like even that dude that was ranting about Sodi, like I probably wouldn't fuck with him. He looks like a serious thing. Like he looks like a pretty hardcore dude anyway. Like I probably wouldn't fuck with that guy anyway. But in this country, if people start flinging insults, it escalates real fast. It will go right past fists to guns. Like immediately.
yeah. Everyone's strapped.
We won't even go to fists. Like we think that's
Yeah,
uncivilized in this country. We think we could like we look at the UK and everyone's going, well, we meet me here to fist fight or we
no,
can knife fight. And we're sitting here going, how
everyone's
uncivilized.
stabbing each other here.
How
Yeah,
savage can you get? You're going throwing acid attacks in each other's faces and hitting each other with screwdrivers. I'd rather be shot, man. That's way more
yeah.
civilized. You
Quick
know?
death, quick death.
Quicker death, easier for
Obviously,
a surgeon usually to fix a gunshot wound than it is a crazy knife stab or screwdriver or
yeah.
something.
I heard that as well. Yeah.
It is
Now
for
we used to
most
have
health.
there used to be guns in the UK, but obviously there's some shootings. But the thing is, America's just so much bigger, so you're gonna have more mass shootings anyway.
We just have so many guns too. I think in the
So many
United
people
States,
as well.
there's no turning back. They could try to like Australia's slowly done the same thing, and Canada too. Canada made a thing that said you're allowed to have guns to hunt with, you're allowed to have guns to go sport shoot with, but if you use a gun to defend your life, you're going to prison for life. Like Trudeau said that in Canada
Oh,
just like about a year ago. So they're slowly losing their rights. Australia had mass shootings, and then all of a sudden nobody in Australia can own guns. But fortunately, we have the Second Amendment enshrined in our Constitution, so. And there's already so many guns out there in the hands of Americans, it would be impossible, I think, for them to go door to door and de-arm everyone in the United States. We're beyond the point of no return with guns. And actually,
yeah,
I feel like if you live in this country and you don't own a gun, you're kind of like one of the innocent bystanders. It's never good to be
yeah.
one of the. You don't want to
No,
be a non-combatant in the combat zone ever. Like,
no. I grew up in East London. Everyone was packing knives, and like if you didn't have a knife on you, you are under. You know, what I mean, you're the underdog. You don't want
yeah,
to be
that's
the
the way
underdog.
it is
You
here in
want
this country for everyone. Like I try to talk, my mom isn't really a gun person, but I've been trying to talk her. My dad does carry a gun everywhere all the time. It's because
yeah, you should.
He's the only Sikh in his little town down on the Mexican border in Arizona, and he's very visible, and he's had a couple people yell like slurs at him over the years, and so he's armed. He's always armed. He's armed with more than one thing. He's usually got a gun, a shaster, and a big. He walks with a cane. He can use as a club, and he's got a pit bull. So I mean, my dad is very much so. My mom not so much, but I try to convince her to all the
No,
time.
she should. I think a Sikh girl got raped. Sikh girl got raped a couple of days ago, racially by two white guys. They told her to go back to her country, but she was born here, but because of her brown skin.
No, I
And
saw
there's
that
been,
thing with Subeg
yeah,
thing the other day where somebody was
yeah,
screaming at him to go back to his
yeah,
country. He's the most British. That's the other thing is that I notice about the UK things as like I heard Sodi the other day. He sounded the most British person I've ever seen. The most British accent. He sounded like the Queen taught him is how to speak
yeah,
English. Like he's like,
yeah,
here we go, it's carnival time. Here we go, we go. I
yeah.
got the goat, I got the goat with me. Come on,
Oh
yeah,
no, no.
boy. Come
Some of
on
the
now,
Sikhs,
chaps.
some of the Sikhs have integrated. They're more British than the British. I
That's
swear.
what I said. More
Yeah,
British than the Queen himself. The
yeah,
Queen herself.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah. But
I've made that.
they forget this, they forget this.
I've
Like
seen that.
not of them are keeping British names. That
Well, I
all
always
white
thought
man
Subeg
names.
was really British. He's a very proper British Sikh, man. A very proper
Yeah,
Brit. More than
Queen's
anything, he's
English.
a super prop. Yes, Queen's English. I mean, the guy, very all you. So that just blows me away that that can happen there. I mean, most of the Punjabis I know are better Brits than Brits. More
Yeah,
British
like
than Brits.
this Christmas on Facebook, I saw up Sikh families. Yeah, there's about 10 of them. They all had the same matching outfit in Christmas, everything. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
bugbear and everything. And I look at my white mates; they're just normal. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
no, I know. They're more British than the British. I swear to
yeah,
God. And I
celebrate.
don't.
They're doing Christmas better than the Christians. I swear.
That's always kind of blown me away. That was another question I was trying to get at is do Sikhs in the UK feel like you live in a colonizer land or do you feel like I feel like a lot of the Sikhs in the UK have a lot of money and I think that maybe
A
dates
lot of
back to
money,
the
bro. A lot of
yeah,
money.
I see it driving McLarens and Ferraris and stuff and does that date back to them getting a lot of money for surrendering to the freaking British back during Ranjit Singh's
Nah,
time?
nah. So what happened when they first came over? The Punjabis, obviously, they were after the World War. They had to rebuild England. So when they first came over, the first generation that came over, they were working hard. They were working in factories, mills. They went through a lot of discrimination. A lot of people didn't get jobs. A lot of them cut their hair. There was a lot of racial attacks. There was a lot of stabbings. A lot of things got beaten up, beat down. It was very hostile, and they did suffer. And then my generation was the next generation. We went through a lot of shit. There was BMP, there was Combat 18, there was a lot going on. So the generation after me, that's when they've had an easier time. But now it looks like with all this thing erupting again. So there's been a good easy 20 years where racial attacks have not happened. But now it looks like the tide's changing again for some reason.
Well, where's
So
all the money come from? How come all
the,
the Sikhs are so wealthy over there? Just
so what
industriousness?
the first ones were working in factories, then they bought a house. The
So
houses were
just being
cheap.
industrious,
Yeah,
just
so
starting with nothing and
start
building up.
start above. They came with toothbrushes. They came with toothbrushes. They bought a house.
That checks
Um,
out. My friend Jimmy Singh's dad owns a 7-Eleven. They come over here in the 70s and
yeah,
started truck driving. Him and his brother were like 24 hours a day on the road until
they
they got
worked
enough money
together.
to buy a 7-Eleven and now they own a $3 million convenience store. So
Bro, look,
that's
the
through
six.
all blood, sweat, and tears.
That's it. So they bought one house, and they'll buy two houses, and they might buy a business, buy a shop. Their kids obviously have educated. They've become doctors, accountants, lawyers,
Hmm.
dentists, pharmacists. You ain't got much seeks into the criminal element here in the UK
Oh,
at
here
all.
neither. You don't have very
Yeah,
many that aren't doctors here. That even if they've been grown up, if their parents came here and they're first generation Americans, they're medical school or law school or very little
yeah,
deviation for one of those two things.
yeah. So the Sikhs have worked hard, but we did kind of. There was a generation where they lost Sikhi. Like there was missionary Sikhi here, and it
Hmm.
was just Sunday ritual worship. But then there was a big movement. Bob and all them lot were involved. There's an organization called Boss,
Yeah, I
and
know.
they
Born
were,
overseas
yeah,
Sikhi. I know Simran Singh
yeah,
from there. He's from New
yeah, yeah.
Zealand.
So they went to the unis, and there was a big youth movement. Then obviously Jagraj Singh, obviously we done our thing, loads of people, and there was a big regeneration. Then a lot of Dum Dummy Diksal came. So
Jag Raj
oh
Singh was elemental in my Sikhi,
yeah, so
basics of Sikhi.
he done it big across the UK. He used to go to Gurdwaras. Then obviously he's done all the YouTube videos as well. And then there was an explosion of Sikhs. The quantity, but obviously look, we can't say everyone's quality. But there's a lot of Sikhs in the UK, and there's a lot more Amritaris now, or a lot more Kestaris.
Hmm.
When I was young, there wasn't many.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
this
mean,
last
we all go through
20 years,
stages. Have you ever
yeah,
gone on a stage in your life where you had short hair?
yeah. I was the
Yeah,
short
so
hair,
we all have a little bit. I mean, I've
yeah,
mainly kept my cash even when I wasn't wearing a Dostar. I've tried to always keep my cash. Like I never have not liked having my hair. I've never not liked having short hair. Never been comfortable with it, but I've gone kind of. A lot of it for me is trying to find like a proper woman. And in this country, with a turban, I've had women ask me, are you part of the Taliban or whatever else? And
yeah.
some of these white girls around here don't know what the hell a Sikh is, and then.
Nah,
And then I don't even want to date them because they put a bad taste in my mouth by asking me that question. Well, it's probably a genuine question. I mean, they probably really don't fucking know. And I should do some parcharik and actually inform them to what Sikhs are, but it's usually just, I'm
oh yeah,
I'm interested in them romantically, so like, that's been really I think my only real reason to take off a dastar was to try to, date some of these gory women. Like they just look at me like I'm which I think is different in the UK. Like, well, you can see Sodi. He's got all these women that are very excited to see a Sikh come through. I don't know that that would happen here.
yeah. Well, it depends. Saudi's a one-off anomaly, but yeah, I do think there's been a lot more awareness on who Sikhs are, but we was mistaken for Muslims as well. And when the
Well, it seems
9/11
like
happened,
with him, I see all these white girls wanting to get their picture taken with the guy in the turban with the freaking mustache curls. And like,
yeah,
they
he's a franchise, isn't it? He's the franchise.
yeah, the
He's got the
goat thing around
confidence,
his
this and that.
neck and the whole
Sometimes it
thing.
doesn't
He
matter
is,
how you look; it's the confidence, isn't it? Women like
and it
confidence,
might
and
just be that. It might
he's
have nothing
confident.
to
He's
do
a
with the
confident.
turban.
Yeah, he's a confident guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people, some girls like hairy guys, some girls don't. It's preference. Some people have a
Well,
hard
and
time.
I am currently dating a girl who's not a Sikh, and she's learning about Sikhi, and she basically doesn't drink alcohol. She
Yeah,
condones with most all my rahat to live in my house, which I made hard rules like there's no alcohol allowed in this house,
yeah,
there's no
yeah,
tobacco allowed in this house. Like
yeah,
I made some hard rules with just her and navigating that, and I've also looked at like some of these rishta, I've had some aunties like
yeah,
come up to me and be like, you would love my niece who in Horshiapur or wherever,
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
but I'm so not Indian culturally that, I don't know how that would work. I even had this one girl that I was talking to in Delhi that was a Sikh, and she was really kind of, really liked me. I think I could have really probably made something happen with her, but I don't know that I just culturally she sounds so much
different.
like Indira Gandhi or something when she speaks to her. Her accent just was kind of a turn off to me.
Yeah,
No offense toward Indian accents, just
yeah.
and just in that particular, there were some cultural things, and just I'm so American culturally too
How
because I
how
went to
about the
public schools here.
how about the free HO singing here? They know. There's some of them all right. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
mm,
They're
I've never
mostly all
connected.
seem to not with one of them. No, I never. Not even
Is it?
tried.
That's
Never even
crazy.
tried. Never even
Because some of
tried.
them they've rebranded now, and they kind of know that Yogi Bhajan was a offender, and they've
Yeah,
kind of
all of them,
changed
most
the
at this
lyrics.
point, are anti Yogi
Yo,
Bhajan for the most part. I would say 90% of them. A lot of them removed the Khalsa off the end of their name and are now going by like, Prabhu Singh Erickson, Leifson, or like
yeah,
Owenson, or whatever the hell their names were before that. So which I would never do. My grandfather's last name was Lentini, and the others was
yeah,
Pasalacqua, so they're very Italian names. But I'd never go to from Hari Singh, Lentini Pasalacqua. That just sounds freaking funky and weird, and people would cause more confusion than it would clarify anything to anybody. And I mostly let people assume that I'm Punjabi. In fact, like I said, Raghu Manpreet Singh was shocked I didn't speak Punjabi. I had to call my Nepalese coworker over who speaks Hindi to translate between me and Manpreet Singh, which was awkward. But
yeah,
but they're offering me, Santhia classes, and I need to learn Gurmukhi. I just need to learn Gurmukhi. But
yeah.
it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, you had some questions for the UK Sangha. Have you written them down or?
Let me look here. Oh yeah, well, that was one of my main things is how does it feel to live in a place where you can't defend yourself? I mean, what are people resorting to? Is it literally gotten to the point where people carrying around screwdrivers in their pockets because of the
Look, I grew up in the hood, so we carried whatever we wanted when we was young. We was outlaws. We followed the Guru's hukum. But most, but obviously I've been in prison for it. But most uh, Sikhs, they do carry the Qur'an. No one hardly uses it, but a lot
same
of Sikhs,
here? You can go to the whole Sangat. They're all dull kirpans or glued in the
yeah.
sheets.
And the thing is, a lot of times you see Sikhs, they're victims here in the UK, unfortunately. You'll see a video pop up, they'll get battered. There's a lot of big martial art Sikhs into martial arts now, like,
Well, that's awesome. Like Subeg saying,
yeah,
yeah, no, I
yeah.
get
So,
that. That's the best you can do if you
but
can't own a gun
most people just sit in ducks. The criminals are always going to have the advantage because when they come for you, they're going to have a knife or they're going to have a stick or a bat.
or a gun because they don't follow
Yeah, or a
laws.
gun. Yeah,
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of the guns are gang beef, so they're only put like everyone's got guns, but no one after about before we used to get 1 year for a gun. So in the 90s where I grew up, people used to carry guns like in the hood, in the ghettos and
Hmm.
the criminal gangs. We used to carry guns. But since the laws are strict and guns actually cost so much now, like on the black market, they when we were younger they were £1,000, 500, maybe 2,000. For 3,500 you'd get an assassin kit. But now
Damn,
now
that's
the guns
expensive.
yeah, now the guns on the black market from what I'm hearing, they like start at 3,000 and to get a proper, they go up all the way up to 10,000. So people ain't gonna carry it every day. They're just
Yeah.
all the criminals. They're gonna have it put away in a stash house. A rainy day when they're gonna do a hit or when it's someone's really after them, then they will carry it. As for the things, there is some things getting licenses. They do shooting, but very rare, very little. The interest isn't there because we've had such an easy and cozy life here for the last 20 years. Sikhs have had it really easy here.
Hmm.
And when you live in a cozy life, you got money. Most of them drive to the car, to the work, to the job. They're not really walking the street or walking the road. You know what I mean? And that's where the
Hmm.
problems happen in public transport when you're walking. Most of them got cars. They're doing well for themselves. So, but
No,
there's
like I said, I commented on Subeg Singh's post where he was saying he had that racist incident. In this country, like more than likely, there's a real chance that would have escalated to me drawing a gun on a person. Like it just depends. I mean, and fortunately, I'm pretty good at de-escalating people in crisis type situations. But in this country, I mean, I'm not even if it hadn't been a Sikh, it could have been a Hispanic guy and a white dude behind him saying something racist to a Mexican guy. There's a good chance both of them would have drawn pistols on each other. I mean, so while at the same time, I like to say I think it keeps people more on, from some threats because there's something that can back that threat up. Somebody's going to pull a gun on them if they start freaking saying, "Hey, I'm going to come kill you." The person's going to take it seriously, and we have laws here that allow you to stand your ground, and you can
yeah,
literally, you can shoot somebody that's trying to attack you. You can shoot somebody
yeah.
that comes into your house in the middle of the night. You can shoot
No,
somebody
we
that comes in
can't.
your window.
Yeah, we got all
Yeah.
these reasonable force. It's pathetic, but I would if someone comes to attack me, I would just do what I gotta do. But
Well, that's
it's
the thing. Would you rather be judged by 12 or carried
yeah,
by
yeah,
6?
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be an outlaw. Our guru was a rebel. He was an outlaw. But some Sikhs here, like a lot of them, because the parents are strict. They're scared of authority. They're scared of this, scared of that. So some people do freeze. A lot of people just freeze and they don't know how to hit back, and that is a struggle in itself. Even in a fist fight, they just take the licks or they don't even guard up, which is worrying to see. So somewhere the parenting is going wrong.
So I
So
also see all the like Nihang. I don't want to call it cosplaying because I don't know if that's what it is. I also saw that the head of Buddha Gal, Jethadar, was in the UK visiting like Kamal Roop and Bob and some of the Nihang things. So,
so there
so
is
are there?
they're in the hung things, but like there will be one two serious guys but they mainly do the rate and they follow the Buddha Dal rate and stuff like that. So there's a Jatta like here called Casa Pant UK. There's BD UK, BD 96K, Crore UK. So they have Nahang Singhs here,
Yeah.
but they don't actively. No one patrols the Gurdwara like does security in the Gurdwara. It will be like it would just be like normal security companies that do it, and I
You
don't
see
think
my
they're armed.
Nishan, you see my Nishan side
I
here?
seen
Someone
it. Yeah,
stole,
yeah,
I
I
had a
like
white
it.
one on the other side. Someone stole the other one,
Is it? They stole the Nishan stuff.
man.
Must be the free HO Godwara down the road.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, right? They would take the white one. No, it's probably some homeless. I live right in the downtown area where there's all the drug use and all the homeless people. So, like, basically anything that gets, it was probably some freaking person that didn't even know what flag it was. It was probably somebody that just, like, some 18-year-old kid on meth or something that pulled up and just decided, hey, I'm going to steal this. It looks like an easy, easy thing to steal. That's
Yeah,
what I think it was. I don't think it was racially motivated.
do
Although
you
I
have?
have had a couple. I had a
Yeah,
couple people scream at me from their cars, like weird stuff. I think I had some call me the N word or something from a car. I was
oh
just out
yeah.
watering my garden. I wasn't
American,
really paying much
American,
attention.
America's dangerous because, like you said, everyone's armed, so you
Well,
got to
that's the
take
thing.
everyone serious.
I'm on the other end. I'm your Huckleberry. If they want to come start shit with me, come on, bring it. Like I'm
Mm.
ready. I'm ready. Any one of these fucking people want to scream racist shit at me or come fuck with my Nishan side, like come on. Like first I'm gonna offer peace, but if they don't, if they don't want to talk about it, then I'm ready. I'm the Huckleberry. Like you seen that movie,
You got a
what the
vest.
Tombstone movie?
You got a bulletproof vest as well.
I do, yeah. I
Yeah,
actually used to do. I do security contact in the military, so I got all that shit. I got Kevlar. I got soft plates.
yeah,
I got hard plates, rifle
yeah,
armor. I
yeah,
got
yeah.
soft
I had
plates.
the Kevlar free. Yeah, when I was active on the streets, I was wearing a bulletproof vest every day, and
Yeah,
sometimes,
I wear the
yeah,
soft one usually, which only stops up to a 44 Magnum like handgun
yeah,
round
yeah.
because the rifle ones are heavy and bulky, and I
No,
don't.
I never had the rifle ones. I had the ones that stop handguns as well.
They make ceramic ones that are rifle that aren't that heavy anymore, but they're
Oh, yes,
like
it's
this
different.
thick, and so you have this huge. So the plate carrier has already got the soft armor underneath. When you add the plates for the rifle, it just becomes like I can't even barely move my arms. So when I work security contracting, I've done some military security contracting. I was always wearing rifle plates because we were around people that were shooting rifles all the time. But
Yeah,
most of the people around here aren't going to be carrying anything more than maybe they might have like these rifles I have are so small I can literally carry this in the passenger seat of my car. Like
yeah.
I can legally do that too. I can legally literally shove this right in the floorboard of the passenger seat of my car. Like
Nah,
if
fair
I'm
play.
driving through like a urban inner city town or something, I have done that before. Like I've been in Phoenix or Los
Yeah,
Angeles or actually California's got weird gun laws, but like if I go to Seattle or somewhere the big city, I will toss this in my car right next to me on
yeah,
the seat because
100%.
it's handguns aren't really even the best for self-defense. If somebody's coming at me, I want a rifle. I want rifle rounds. I want rifle ammo. I want a rifle caliber, bullet. It's 223 or 556. I want the red dot scope on there. I want the magnifier so I can see up. Like, I just want every advantage I can get because there's,
Yeah,
in battle, there's no such thing as an unfair advantage. You take every advantage you can get.
100%. You don't want to die. You don't want to take
Yeah, there's
that.
no such
Yeah,
thing as like, oh, okay, I'll just use a handgun because you got a handgun. I'm going to meet force with greater force every
yeah.
time,
Everyone
So
that's been on the street or been in war situations knows there ain't no fair game. It's survival.
there
You
is no
gotta,
fair fighting in battle. Yep, you're
nah,
right. You
it's
kick
kill or
people
be
in the
killed,
nuts
man.
and scrape out
Yeah,
their eyes, and yeah, no,
yeah.
and really, another thing is, I wonder if most the Sikhs in the UK would prefer to live in a place like the US with a whole lot more guns, a whole lot more racist white people probably than the UK. I think people that don't know what Sikhs are that are more willing to call us Al Qaeda or Taliban or start shit, just because of, weird,
I mean, we
deep
get
seated.
we get that, and we get that as well, and it's increasing again. So it's not like that is totally safe here as well. It's not. We've
Well,
always had a racist
the only
element
thing I
here, but
notice is you guys have Jatka shops on every block. You guys have freaking, stores that sell Sikh goods all over, at least the
yeah,
Midlands. It looks like mini Punjab. So I have a hard time believing that people don't know what Sikhs are there.
it's
Like you
set
hear,
in certain areas there's still no-go zones. Like there'll be one part of Coventry as a state is all white. In where I live, you go down block switch and stuff, you can still get racial tensions. And where there's Sikhs, they're concentrated there together. You know what I'm saying? So there's a
yeah.
and we're
What
not
about
that much of the
Punjabi
population.
Pakistanis? Was it? I always hear. In fact, I think I don't remember. I don't want to say anybody's name. One of my UK Sikh friends said a while ago. He said, oh, these Pakistanis that I live in an apartment building. He said they're halal slaughtering a goat on their porch, and it's just gross. And it's
What
like downtown
in the UK?
in the
Yeah, not,
UK. Yeah, and I was like, well, they're Punjabis, right? He said, well, they're Pakis. I said, well, they're Punjabis, right? You could go talk to them. You could talk to them in your native language, right? And they're
yeah.
like, yeah, but I'm not going to. Like, they're slaughtering a goat on their porch, and I'm just going to call the cops. I'm pissed off at them.
Well,
So, but I've seen at least in Punjab, I've seen that some of the Pakistani, even some of the Pakistani Muslims are kind of more supportive of Sikhs than they are of Hindus in India.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
Pakistanis, I think the Pakistani Gurdwara Pradhan Committee might actually be better for than the Shiromani Pradhan Committee, the Indian version. The
yeah.
Pakistani version may actually have more teeth and stand up to the Pakistani government. The Pakistani government, I think they used Sikhs in 1984 as a pawn against India. They armed, Bhindranwale, not, rest, they are Shaheeds, and they had a
Yeah.
mighty noble cause that they were fighting for. But I think the Pakis really armed them against the Sikhs because they knew there were going to be a sliver in the government of India's side. So I think Pakistan has kind of always liked Sikhs because they know that it's in a thorn in India's side ever since the Gandhi legacy, really.
Yeah, so like when we say Pakistani, when you say Pakis, it's like it's seen as racial here in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
here
yeah.
too, to an
Oh,
extent,
is it there
although,
as well? Yeah, it's
well, the
not.
term Pakistani is
Yeah,
Punjab. What is it? It's an acronym. If you look up
yeah, yeah. In
Pakistan,
Punjab, yeah, yeah.
it's an
In
acronym.
USA, yeah. But in UK, it's like we get called that, and if we call that to Pakistanis, it will start. You get into a
Like the
fight
K
together.
stands for Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the A
Yeah,
stands for what is it, Assam or something. The P stands for Punjab in Pakistan, I believe, in the acronym Pakistan. Same here, though. I would never use that in polite company at work, and so like I think it
yeah.
can be seen as a slur, but also the same thing. It was, I think, the name Pakistan was supposed to be something that pride when they created the nation of Pakistan. So
It means pure, isn't it? Pure land or something like that.
yeah, Land of the
Yeah,
Pure, and then the
clean land of
acronym
pure.
stands for Punjab, and then I don't remember that the K is for Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, So each region of Pakistan is represented by that acronym of Pakistan. So, and I also wonder, like, why there's not more unity between Punjabi Pakistani Muslims, or maybe there is
No,
more
it's all right.
unity.
Here it's okay. It's sometimes there was a bad phase in the 90s between two gangs, Share Up Punjab and Aston Panthers. Then it's there's good and bad in all. Sometimes
I
we
mean,
get
there's a
on.
lot of,
Some,
I
yeah,
notice a lot of in India at least, and I know because of a lot of my Facebook people that live in India, and I even know some that are Pakistani Sindhis, like they live in Sindh in Pakistan. A lot of them are like live right around Nanaksar, and a lot of them
yeah,
even though they're Muslims, they have a lot of veneration for Kabirji and for Guru Nanak, and like even though they're Muslims, they have a great respect for Sikhism. So like. And I
yeah,
feel like the Nanaksar Gurdwara is actually fairly well respected by the Pakistani government.
100%,
Doesn't
hundred
they
percent.
don't mess with them. Like I almost feel like they maybe have more rights in Pakistan than they do in Punjab, in India, Amritsar, Punjab. I mean, in Indian Punjab, excuse me.
Yeah,
Like
so
maybe
when the ISIS, I think was it Taliban in Afghanistan, Sikhs found it hard. Then some of them were
that's
getting killed.
still going on. I have some
Oh,
coworkers that are in
okay.
Afghanistan, and they're like, "We
Yeah, it's a
love
bit
Sikhs,
bad
but
there.
there's like less than 30 families left in Kabul now. I think is last I
Yeah,
heard."
they need to get out. But yeah, the Nanaksar part is really good. My neighbors are Pakistani, and they went and they got me some prasad and stuff from there. I live in a Muslim area, totally fine. They help me out with my shopping, this and that. I get on with them. There's good and
See,
bad.
that's
When
what
I
I would expect that because it used to
Yeah,
be all one united Punjab. I mean,
yeah,
under the
yeah. So
Sikh
the language
Raj.
is the same, everything's the same, just a bit of different religious differences, but you don't talk about that. Most of them in my area, they just want to get on with their life. They're raising their kids, stuff
Hmm.
like that, and we're doing the same. We're just getting on with it. My old
So,
area,
is there any solidarity between Pakistani Punjabis and Pakistani Indians or
more
Sikhs
yeah,
that are?
some get on really well. Some families get on. They're like real families, and but then there's been issues like uh targeted grooming sometimes
That I
by
hear is
some
a
mi-
big one. Yeah,
there's
that's the
some
one I
by
always
some
hear.
minor gangs, but it's only a few numbers that mess it up for the rest. We can't paint everyone with the same brush.
Yeah, no, that's right.
There's Sikhs that groom as well. There's good and bad in everyone, brother.
No, you can't
What
broad brush.
I do if someone's I don't care if they're black, white, Irish, Gypsy, Chinese, whatever. If they treat me with respect and they're good peoples, then I treat them with respect and they're good peoples. You
Hmm.
know, I probably had more beef with Sikhs than anybody else.
You know, I say that all the time,
Yeah,
especially when I see two Sikhs fighting. I'm like, man, if Sikhs could just stop fighting each other, like we'd be really strong together. Like I feel that way about really more. I see Punjabis fighting about, Khalistan or political shit or Akali Dal or just whatever the fuck they can fight about. Like I see more of that than I do out fighting,
but
at
you know,
least.
I've reached a stage. I'm 43 now, so I've reached a stage where I'm not even into labels. I'm just into the love because the one is in everybody, and if I
Hmm.
resonate with you, I resonate with you. I don't look at appearance. I don't look at what labels you got. Are you brown, black, white, Muslim, Sikh?
Hmm.
If you can do, if I'm resonating and I'm feeling your vibe and you're good peoples, I'm with you. If you're bad people, I don't care what label you got that you're a Sikh. Just that I'm beyond that. I used to be like that. We've got but you know, I just think it's you connect with who you connect with, you know.
Hmm.
And sometimes like my black friends have been there for me more than Sikhs, and I've got some Sikhs that are like brothers, and some that I don't get on with. It's just like it's hard to say because you know what, we're all God, right? So we're
I
all
had a
got
Hindu guy from South India.
yeah,
He's from Maharashtra. He owns a hotel here in town. He saw my Nishan flag about 6 months ago when we moved into this house, and he came over here and I think he doesn't tell me his real name. He says Paul, but his real name is like Chichin or something. I don't remember. It's some very Hindu name, but he's really nice. He's invited me to their mandir and everything else. He's just been very. He came up.
there
He
you
first. He was
go.
like, I saw the Nishan Sahib. He's like, I figured there was a Sikh here. I was like, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm also Indian. I'm from Maharashtra, and I was like, oh man, that's nice to talk to you. And so he's actually invited me a couple times to their mandir. There's a Hindu temple here, I guess it's bigger than anything. It's probably as big as the Sikh Gurdwara, the one an hour north of here. It's probably close to that big, maybe even bigger. But then, I gotta be careful what shirt I wear. If I wear that Bindranwale t-shirt to Hindu Mandir, man, I get freaking call it. And I've been called a terrorist. I've walked into some of the local stores here that are owned by the Hindus, and I have a couple of my Bindranwale, like, never forget 84 t-shirts and the Shahid
Yeah,
t-shirts. I've got at least 4 or 5 of those t-shirts. They're just in my regular t-shirt rotation. A lot of times I don't even give any thought to it when I'm throwing on that t-shirt, which t-shirt I've had, but. I've had a
yeah,
couple of Hindus like in the grocery stores. They like, you support terrorism. You're a terrorist. Like
yeah, because yeah, Khalistan flex in it,
that.
yeah. Because the kind of stuff like there's some bad apples that spoiled that movement for us. They done a bit of silly stuff, and you know it went left. It's complex. There's a lot to
I
it.
think
That
Pakistan
so
was funding it all. I think India. I think the whole thing was,
oh, all the guns and stuff came from Pakistan. Yeah,
for sure, for sure. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
also,
yeah.
Bindran Wali, as wonderful a man as he was not a politician. He was
No,
not really that worldly, had grown up in Damdani
no,
Taxal. He didn't really have, I
yeah,
don't think, like world, like history knowledge as well as
no.
So he was a wonderful leader. He inspired a lot of people to take Amrit. I very much, idolize Bindran Wali, actually, probably as one of my most favorite contemporary Sikhs alive today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if you know who Jivan Singh was that just recently passed away. I think he was a AKJ leader. Then we had met him. He was probably one of my father's biggest like Punjabi Sikh. Aside from Yogi Bhajan, I think more so than Yogi Bhajan. Yogi Bhajan used to bring Jivan Singh over here, who was a very important AKJ in Punjab. He used
Yeah,
to come to
I've heard of him. I've heard of him, bro.
he died at like 100 years old, like 2 or 3 years ago. So I think it's
Okay,
Jiwan Singh Masipuria. I can't remember his last name. I'll send you some pictures of him. You'll see him. He's got some pictures of him with a kirpan that are like bigger than his freaking chest, sitting there, a big Texali kirpan. He'd love to carry on. But I think they were kind of AKJ, and I
yeah,
think actually he's definitely AKJ. And there's also been a lot of the 3HO people, because Yogi Bhajan used to bring over AKJ leadership from India. A lot of them are really identifying with AKJ now, AKJ type Sikhi, and
okay.
not necessarily that new guy that was kissing boys on the mouth or whatever his name was.
And that's
That's not even
MKJ.
AK.
That's
Okay, I get those
MKJ.
two confused. Okay, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah. Everyone does.
MKJ.
Everyone does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. NKJ and
Yeah.
AKJ. Yeah.
AKJ was really impacted a lot of the 3HO Sikhs because Yogi Bhajan was friends with Jiwan Singh and brought him over here all the time. And actually, he refused to like fly on a plane without being able to carry like a 3 foot long talwar, or Shastra. So it was like he's a hardcore Sikh. So and so, like, I know a couple people who are no longer part of 3HO, but they like Sukhmander's car in California. She
Mm.
writes the about.com for Sikhism, like for all over the world. If you look up about.com on Sikhism, it's her articles. I mean, she answers all those. She's very knowledgeable about Rahat
She's
Maryada and
knowledgeable, yeah. I've read some of her
super
stuff.
knowledgeable. She's super knowledgeable. She's also super hardcore Amritdhari. Like she's got a little bit of facial hair. Like
Yeah.
she's very much there. I mean, she's always been there. And I talked to her a few years ago. She's like she told me she identified more with Akan Kirtani Jatha than she did with ever 3HO, and
Yeah.
that she valued that she came through 3HO. That's how she came about Sikhism, but. That once she learned kind of that the Rihat wasn't exactly the Rahat that Yogi Bhajan was teaching was a little bit of a modified kind of
Yeah, it's
Hinduized.
modified, yeah, tantric yoga, this, that. Because the
Yep,
real yoga is union with Waheguru. There's
yep.
chakras in the body and stuff like that, but posing, this and that ain't gonna get you to God. And they went a bit tantric and went a bit silly with it, you know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
at this point, you go to some of these 3HO events, and it's like Burning Man. It's like a big rave. That most of the people aren't even Sikhs. Most of them are
Nah, it's
young,
a
like
joke. It's a
women.
joke.
Yeah,
It seems like a
I
sex
think
fest, like a
Kamal
bunch of
Reap went to
hippies.
one a few. Kamal Roop and Bob went to one like 8 or 9 years ago, I think, and they were there.
Yeah,
And there's all these white yoga teacher girls with it, and a lot of them
yeah,
taking
yeah.
on Sikh names too, which is more messed up. Like Simran Kaur and like they all take on Sikh names, but they don't wear
Oh, yeah,
turbans.
bro. It's a joke. It's a joke, bro. It's
They're
a joke.
not Sikhs at all. They don't even know what Sikh is. They actually
Yeah,
and actually some of the people who used to run SeekNet now, I don't want to really talk any kind of bad, but I know that they had been selling spiritual names where they would take a hookum and this one woman, I can't remember her name, Mahan Jivankar or something, I don't remember her name, would actually go on there and for $35 you yourself can get a real Sikh name, and they would like have some astrology numerology way of picking like the what page in the Guru Granth Sahib to find the name or whatever else.
yeah,
So there's a lot of those walking around, and I think that's what you find now at the 3HO. They're like summer celebrations. I haven't been to one since I was 2 years
yeah.
old or
It's just like a
something. So
yoga camp. It's just hit. It's
it's like
hippie
Burning
stuff.
Man. It's like a rave, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's all
it's not
centered around
Sikhi
tantric
orientated.
yoga.
Yeah, it's not
No,
Sikhi
there's
orientated. Yeah,
you might find 20 or 30 token Sikhs with actual proper turbans and beards just hanging out because they're the old school people that own the property and everything else. But the people that go there to show up are mainly young, like new age, like salad bowl girls they take a little bit of Buddhism, a little bit of Hinduism. I call that spiritual smorgasbording when they like to like they practice Buddhist tantric in the morning, then they do
yeah,
Sikh, prayer at lunch, and then they do a little bit of Zen Taoist at dinner, So like I always kind of I caution people away from doing that. If you're going to have one thing, dedicate yourself to it. If you're going to be a Sikh, be a Sikh. If you're going to be a Buddhist, be a Buddhist. If you're going to be a Christian, be a Christian. But don't pick and choose little parts of, I like to go to the Unitarian church because I like a little bit of Christianity, and then in the evening I'm going
yeah,
to do my Bonnies because I feel like I'm in a little bit. I feel like Russell Brand kind of did that. He's got a
yeah.
Khanda tattooed on his arm, and he's not really a Sikh. He's, you know,
Yeah, it's
so.
a fashion, and it just fashion. The turban became a fashion for a bit. The beard became a fashion for a bit. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
fashion
Have you
trends.
read Gursant Singh's book, Confessions of an American
Who's?
Sikh? Gursant Singh? He's the first one that came out against Yogi Bhajan about 10
Yeah,
years ago. He got
yeah.
arrested in India.
I've heard of the book. I haven't read it.
You should read it. It's called How I Escaped a New Age Cult. It's called Confessions of an American Sikh. He got arrested in India. He was actually trying to meet a nice Indian girl. From all accounts, he seems to reveal all in that book too, and I have no reason to think he's omitting anything. He would like dyed his beard all brown because they brought him like a 19-year-old, and then the Punjabi
Yeah,
police like burst into the house, and the guy didn't have a license to be a marriage broker, so they called him like
okay.
a pimp. They took him and Gersant to the Amritsar Central Jail, and it just got worse from there. And I think Gersant actually spent like almost a year in the Amritsar Central
Yeah,
Jail, and I think he finally bribed like a lowly like border guard to get into Nepal, and that's how he got out. Because he tried bribing
lucky.
everybody. I think he spent like $60,000 in a year trying to get out of jail in India.
He's
And
lucky to
I've
get
been
out
reading his
now.
book. He was lucky to get out, yeah. And
Yeah,
actually, they let out the pimp guy before they let him out. They're like, we got this trophy American. We're going to see how much money we can get out of him. And
yeah,
I think he spent, he told me, I think he wrote in his book, and he's even told, I've talked to Gerson before
yeah.
too. I think he told me he spent about $60,000 altogether trying to get out of India. And in really, in the end, it was like $100 bribe to a lowly border guard to stamp his visa and get him into Nepal, which got him out of India. Like, he was bribing all the wrong people. All these people up in the higher ups, like the court, the justices in Punjab and all that, were just they were taking his money and just keeping him
Yeah.
in jail. And
Nah, he's lucky to get
to be
out.
honest, he stayed really charty collar the whole time he was in jail. I guess he was, he was like doing his meditations, is doing his sadhana every day, and if you read his
He's
book, like
brave.
he said that
He's a
he
brave
was
guy.
laughing at him. He was laughing at him for the first month until he kind of realized he wasn't getting out of there, and then he started realizing that, oh shit, I don't know anyone here. I'm gonna starve if I don't know somebody bringing me food here, or
Yeah.
whatever. I have no soap. They don't have anything in the jails in India. If you don't have a family member bringing it to you, you don't have soap, you don't have shampoo, you don't have clothing, you just don't have anything. So that's what I've got from that. He's kind of brave. He was
He's
kind of
brave.
brave to go over there and do that anyway, and he was brave even when he got arrested in jail. He was laughing at them, going, "Well, how bad can they do me? I'm a Sikh from America. I got a beard that took 30 years to grow. Like, how bad can they treat me?" Well, he found out they can treat him pretty fucking bad.
He's back.
Like,
He's back now, though. He's still protesting against VHO, isn't
no, he
he?
kind of stopped. He kind of backed off. He's
Okay.
been off social media for like a year. So
A
I think
year,
Bob
innit?
Singh
Yeah.
tried a couple years even. He married a Punjabi woman. I think he's living in the UK now, last I heard, because he
Oh,
was
is
living in Yuba
he?
City. Yeah, I think he's up in near Scotland or somewhere. I'm in the north of England, but
Oh,
yeah.
crazy.
Yep. So Gersant is in the UK, and he's married to a Punjabi woman who's a doctor from the UK. So he finally did marry a Punjabi woman. She helped him write his book, and I never met her. He's never showed her on his social media. He's kind of just protective of her privacy, which I understand.
Nah, no wonder he's gone D-Lo, so I'm gonna get that book actually.
You should. It's free on
Yeah.
Amazon, actually. He's got, I
Yeah.
think, 99 cents for unlimited access to reading it. So, and the first, you can actually like go and check it out, like basically for without paying the 99 cents for the online Kindle book. But it's worth a read. Oh
Yeah.
man, is it worth a read? Like he even goes back. The whole book is so long that he talks about how he got into it, how he originally met Yogi Bhajan, and how he kind of thought that that was the correct Rehat Maryana, really until he got to India and got arrested and started seeing how Sikhs in India were following Rehat, a
Living.
different Rehat than he was taught his whole life. So when he came back from India, he had also divorced his wife that was an arranged marriage from Yogi Bhajan, and
Okay.
he was on the outs. Nobody in 3HO really liked him.
Yeah.
And Yogi Bhajan had just died the year before. He even writes in his book, he's like, well, if Yogi Bhajan was alive, he'd have me out of this jail in one phone call in 10 minutes,
Yeah.
But as
Yeah.
it stands, nobody in 3HO liked him anymore. I think his wife
So
kind of
connected.
alienated him from 3HO. So he had nobody. In fact, I think he had his mother, who's like, not even a Sikh, was sending him all that tens of thousands of dollars to try to bribe different court officials and other stuff. And I used to kind of be a little bit against Gerson because I will kind of
Yeah.
always, no matter whether I agree with 3HO or not, I'll always have a little bit of soft spot in my heart for the fact that my father met Yogi Bhajan, because I don't think we'd be Sikhs if otherwise, and my dad probably wouldn't be alive because he wouldn't have started eating healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle and exercising and doing daily sadhana. My dad does like a 5 hour sadhana every day. Like he's the most hardcore Sikh I know. Like as far as like, and his diet, he doesn't eat any processed sugars. He doesn't eat any like fat. If he doesn't eat cheese with fat in it, he doesn't eat any. Like he'll just sit there and eat just raw oats with no sugar, no butter,
Yeah.
and nothing. And he's trained himself to be that. And I think part of that is that he just found a really regimented lifestyle. He just does really well with the regimented lifestyle. My dad. So. Thank
Yeah.
God. So I always held, when I first met Gersant 10, 12 years ago, and he was slandering, I mean, very, very much against Yogi Bhajan. Me and him butted heads a little because I always hold, my dad has a lot of reverence for Yogi Bhajan just because that's how he found Sikhi. Regardless of whether or not he believes in what's going on with 3HO now or anything else. He says, well, I don't know that our family would have ever become Sikhs if it weren't for Yogi Bhajan and
Yeah.
3HO.
Well, we can't be blinded by that as well because we've got to think a lot of evidence
Oh
has
no,
come out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not,
But
and
I
I
get
don't
what you're
dispute any
saying.
of that evidence. I don't
Yeah,
dispute any of
I
that
get what you're
evidence.
saying though. But then the thing is, the guru works for people as well, and the guru works.
Yep.
Only the guru is
Karma
gonna bring
led
Suki. Yeah,
karma led my that's just how my dad found,
yeah,
you see the Guru
yeah.
Granth Sahib, really.
I do think Yogi Bhajan, he will have a lot of kamai from a lot of blessings from his last life, because to be that powerful and to be like get that much people into the guru, even though some of it was a bit twisted or whatever, but a lot of people were that he did improve a lot of people's lives. But obviously, with sometimes,
My
yeah,
life. Like, I don't know that
yeah,
I would have ever found a Sangit and found
yeah.
Sikhi. I'd very
Um,
slim chance. I'd probably be a
but I just
Catholic
think
Southern
sometimes
Italian.
that power gets to you and the bunch jaw until you don't connect. Anyone can fall, right? And that's what's happened, isn't it?
He was not perfect. I believe all those
Yeah,
stories from the women. I also don't
yeah,
necessarily know how many, because it was kind of like a cult. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
very much a cult. And so I also think that in any cult, like if you look at the Branch Davidians, like Waco, Texas happened here, any cult leader, like almost every one of them was wanting to marry their daughter off to the leader of that cult. So I don't necessarily know how many of those were non-consensual too. Like I
yeah,
even know some of the women who claim that they were like, but I don't know if they non-consensually did it or not. They may have actually like, it's common in the cults for women, the women members of the cult to want to sleep with the cult leader. Like it's
yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't know how,
100%.
and it's handy that this all came out 20 years after he died, so he wasn't there to actually defend himself. So we don't
Yeah,
know. We don't get to hear what his side of the story was. We don't get to hear, whether or not,
yeah. But
we don't. He didn't get
I've
to
seen
defend
some
himself.
speeches. I've seen some of his speeches which left me distasteful
Creeped
and
you out. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
just
I
creepy.
agree, and I
Yeah,
agree, and he was that way. He was. I've asked my mom though, and she, she said he never was that way around her. Maybe he just was. She wasn't his
nah,
type, or that.
people know who to be around like that.
That's the thing is my dad's
But
a force to be reckoned with too, and I think
yeah,
if that ever happened to my mom, my dad would have gone nuclear on the
yeah,
entire thing.
yeah. And he
And
would have picked up on that. You know what I mean?
yep. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yogi Bhajan was super intuitive. He would have known that my
yeah. His
dad that
brain. Yeah,
if my dad would if my mother would have been messed with, my dad would have gone nuclear and it would have
would
been
have
just
shot
a
him, man. Would
huge
have shot him.
probably.
Man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Garen fucking Teed. Yeah, Garen
yeah.
fucking Teed. So
Nah,
so yeah, that's the only reason really is that I question whether or not me and a lot of other Gora Sikhs would have ever found Sikhi without him.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, all things I validate everything everyone else says
It's destiny,
negatively
innit?
about him. Yeah,
Yeah,
really, it's just karma. I mean, it's how we,
yeah,
maybe I would have come across a Sikh. I doubt it though. I certainly would have never been raised the Patka. I certainly would have never
yeah,
not cut my hair till I was like 12 years old. I wouldn't have had all those things. I don't think I would have be as healthy because I think the vegetarianism has been healthy for me. I'm not overweight.
yeah,
I've always been very trim. I think that's been a good thing for me. And I continue to not eat meat, not necessarily for conscientious objection reasons, and not because I
uh,
feel like Sikhs should be vegetarian, just because
yeah,
I feel like it's the best choice for me.
yeah.
And
Same here. Yeah, that's
lowest
what I.
karmic footprint. Like if I was in India and hanging out with a bunch of Nihung Singhs, I'd probably try some jatka. Or if I was in the
Yeah,
jungle and needed to survive, I'd hunt an animal. I'm from Montana. I can hunt and kill and skin an elk, no problem. I've literally been taught how to do that a bunch of times. I've hunted a bunch of times. I just don't partake.
yeah. Any more
So
questions, bro? You had quite a few
no, I
questions.
think that's about good. Is there
Yeah,
anything else that you wanted to do for me? We should do this again, brother.
yeah, nah,
I, I, I very much
yeah.
enjoy this.
No, it was good, man. It was really good, man. It was good chatting to you. So, anyone wants to cut? Where are you from? What area again?
I'm in Oregon, so I'm just once. I'm
Oregon.
literally like less than. I'm the next state from California. I'm really close to
So from
California.
California, Oregon. So, any things, hit, hit brother up and
Hit me up
keep some of his
on
guns, man.
Facebook. I'll send my link on the chat here, so everybody has my Instagram and Facebook
Yeah,
profiles.
I'll collaborate with you as well. So, accept
Okay.
my collaboration. It's good talk,
When
man.
Yeah, it's you too, man. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we did this, Mao.
No, it's
Thank you,
great.
brother.
Take care, man. Okay, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa,
Waheguru ji ka
Waheguru
khalsa,
Ji ki
Waheguru ji ki
Fateh,
fateh
Waheguru Ji ki
ji.
Fateh. Respect, bro.
Respect, brother.
Respect.